Storytelling Ron. I'm here to do just a little like the Icewind Dale, Rum the Frostmaiden advice or how I'm DMing survival stuff. And I'm doing it in a very unique way that I've never done before, and so I'm going to show you and I'm really enjoying this, and it's kind of neat because it kind of helps you sort of focus and put what you want into the survival elements and gets you a feel for it. I'm doing a daily ledger, literally hourly of what they're doing and what food they have. And I'm keeping it simple and what wood they need to keep warm. So, and I'll run it through with you. It's kind of interesting. And I'll go through some at the end of here. I'll kind of add little extra little things I'm doing. But right now I just wanted to focus on this. I've never, ever done this before. And to me, this feels like the campaign to do it on. Let me just kind of move around a little. So the Daily Ledger, Chapter 1, Day 1, they started off at 10 a.m., 3 hours to Bremen. And what I had them do is I had them all just do like a Constitution save, like DC 12. And one of them failed. And so he needed to stop. So it added an extra hour to the travel from their little monastery. And they had to expend a piece of wood and make some broth. They had some broth. They had like 10 units. I'm doing everything in like units. Like one wood is 1 hour. Food is, they have 10 broths. So one broth gives them, fills them up or, helps them with that little failed save. And then, when they got into town, they saw the suffering. So they gave them 9 broth, like little monastery monks giving them 9 broth, and they had to use 2 wood to feed them. They still had 10 broth left. Plus they had about 30 wood, I would say. I can't remember exact numbers, but one of them is keeping tabs of the wood that they have. And so they went out they got the boat, and they went out fishing, and they got 60-pound of trout and 60-pound of fish. I kind of let them, I did the whole survival role thing or whatever. And I kind of, figured there'd be a lot of fish, especially if they used the illusion. He used the illusion, the sorcerer did, and to catch the fish. Cause I figured they're really all hungry. The fish are desperate, like there's no bugs anymore. There's no little fish. The little fish are kind of running out. So the bigger fish are starting to get desperate. And so they did, I feel like it's easy to catch them if you can get out there. So then they dealt with the beast. They got wet. It's freezing. This is the first night. This is all, I'm doing it hourly. I kind of like this. It's very interesting to me. And I'm keeping tabs of it as each hour to hour, like what they do. And so since he was freezing, this is just little, I don't details of the fight or whatever, but since he was freezing, I'm down here now. Can you see it? Yeah. Since he's freezing, so this is now a fun part of the role playing is instead of having charts or anything, I just, you guys are freezing. You're going to, something's going to happen. So they turned the boat over and made like an igloo, and they put the fish around it because they're all frozen. And so they made an igloo, and they started their fire. They used 12 wood down here to keep warm and to warm up the guy to survive, and so they're huddled in their little igloo. So I think that's kind of cool. Like that really gives them, it really role plays the elements, and you don't have to do too many charts or worry about too many things. You just kind of play it along. And so the next day they get up at 8 a.m. and they're I can't remember what they're doing. They were doing some stuff. And then at 10 a.m. I had during the 8 to 10 a.m. the thugs on the keel boat encountered them, because they're just on an ice floe and they had a little igloo. And I figured they'd be kind of easy to spot from, as it's getting sort of a little bit brighter. In the keel boat, the thugs on the keel boat are doing like a search and destroy for, the smaller village fishermen anyway. So that was a fun little attack. So they got the keel boat, and then they got 80 wood and 40 oil, 2 lanterns and 10 meals. And so they're like, whoa, it's like, that's treasure, man, right there. They got some nets and stuff, and they did some more fishing, I believe. So, at lunchtime, I think I made them, I don't know if I made them buy wood here, or not spend wood to keep warm. But I figured in the keel boat, they're going to stay a little bit warmer. So they're definitely kind of already beyond too much suffering. But here you see I had them do -4 wood and -2 pounds of fish to eat. They got another 50 pounds of fish when they found this location, and there was a fish frozen there. So that's like another treasure. And then they spent 16 wood that night because they spent all this adventuring. They spent their whole night, or they spent all their spells. So now the next day, 16 wood. So it's kind of fun and interesting to do it this way. And the next day they went off to go fight the bigger thugs of Targos, who are Zentarum, at their camp. And so that's where they're at. So what here I'm going to keep this. Now what I've been doing though, blizzard condition. All I've been doing during this whole period, every now and then I'll roll a 1d6, and a 1 is calm, and a 6 is a blizzard storm. And I got to confess, I rolled quite a few 6s, and I didn't use them because I just didn't want to blind them too much, during certain areas where they were trying to search. But I do need to bring up a blizzard at some point. So what I'm going to do at some point here is really bring on a blizzard, and at night, so they have to really deal with it. They can't, if they, let's say they did the igloo again, or they're in the kill boat, or wherever they're at, I'm going to make it really tough. I'm going to, give them some 12 to 14 con or boat handling, which I believe is dex. Because one of them, the sorcerer is actually a sailor, cursed sailor. I'm going to probably have them, do some kind of 12 to 13, 14 blizzard tests, through the night to try to see what they can do to keep cover or protect themselves from the elements. So that's kind of it. That's kind of all I'm doing as far as, and that's it. I don't have to have any charts or look at anything. It's very simple. As long as they got that wood going and they got their shelter, and it sounds pretty reasonable to me, I'm going to let them, that then they get it. They say if they fail to save or they save, either way, if they fail to save, they really got to explain to me what they do. If they save, I'll keep it kind of like just take the wood off and you're good, kind of thing. So I'm really kind of enjoying it. I've never done this hourly. Like I'm checking hourly what they're doing and hourly how much wood they have, food they have. So they have to really focus on this. Now, at some point, I'll stop doing this because at some point when they get to third or fourth level, I'm like, okay, you guys are, survivors. You guys know what to do. So at that point, I'll, because and again, whenever you do these kind of things with survivor or tests or things, you should only do it like one, the first whatever series of sessions, and then stop doing it and let them, and then they're good. They know what to do, So this experience at some point is going to go away. But for now, I'm using this. And again, I'm not really worried about charts or anything. And the only thing when I look at the map and if I just figure out that an inch is or whatever is an hour travel, and so that's one then at a certain point, 4 to 6 hours, I'll say you guys need to eat something, you need to get warm, so you spend some wood during the day, and at night they got to spend 12 to 16 pieces of wood just to stay depending on, and if there's a blizzard condition, I'm going to make them spend more wood, kind of thing. So that's hopefully a concern for them, although they have plenty of wood right now, but 16 a night, it's going to go quick if they don't keep that going. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm really enjoying this thing. I've never done this that way before. It's very simple to me. I don't have to look up any charts or anything. I just I just know that I do have this open. I do have to like type in quickly like the next hour. It's pretty quick though. So that's that. That's really it for this video. I just wanted to give you that advice on how I'm doing it and how simple it is. So for the fun of it, I'm gonna just go over a bit of what I'm doing for the characters, the backgrounds, and you should do this too. My suggestion is, I hope the players may not be watching this. So Azul here, he's got this his basically he was a survivor of the boat, the Duchess. He's one of the survivors of that boat, and him and the captain, and they were taking the. I think I'm putting the wizards of the Brotherhood, whatever the Brotherhood thing. I can't remember everything all the time. They were prisoners of that boat, and they were being taken to the prisoner place. Well, then Avarash, the ancient white dragon with the wizard on her back, Avarax. I know I just said her name earlier yesterday. Avarax. Yeah, I'm gonna get that pronunciation down. Avarak. Sorry, I shouldn't do this right in the middle of the video. Okay. Arveaturus. Destroyed the boat, and or her offspring. I would say her offspring because the offspring is going to be there now. As they were stuck frozen, they got caught up in this 2-year winter thing because they were going up to the prison. They got caught up, frozen. They couldn't get out of it, so they were starving and stuck there. The pirates were sailors, Captain and Azul, and the captain barely escaped after the white dragon attacked. And I'm thinking an offspring, not Avaratrus. She though took over the prison. Because I find that I just found the prison thing kind of uninteresting with the wizard who doesn't really know that much, So I find that kind of interesting. So I'm putting Arviratroots there. So if they want to go to the prison, and maybe there's some magic items there, and there's an ancient white dragon, so I think that's going to be cool. But I'm bringing on offspring, like an adult or young adult white dragon, to take over the ship, and maybe have a pet ice troll, like it says in there. And so Azul, he can't remember what happened. They found him frozen. The monks did, and what ended up happening is they fled, him and the captain, and they were freezing, dying, whatever. So they get into a fight, and Azul ends up killing the captain. But it was a struggle, like they were both going crazy and mad, kind of thing. Or I'm thinking that, or I wrote that down, I believe. And then he had to end up cannibalizing him, so he doesn't even know to survive. I mean, I that's fine with me. I have no moral. If you have to survive and you have to eat your own friend, that it's happened historically. So here in the world, in our world, and it's okay. So he had to do that. So the ghost now is his captain. You're a murderer. And so I have a list here of what the ghost does each time it reappears every now and then to freak out Azul and the party. And then and the ghost gets a little stronger each time and starts adding madness to Azul. And so he's going to have some madness elements here pretty quick, because he just got blasted by the guy with necrotic damage. And then the ghost went away. But each time the ghost does come, he remembers something new, And then each time the cleric tries to talk with him and pray with him and meditate with him, he has a chance of remembering too his past. So that's really the past. And he gets that information though about the ship, the dragons, the wizards. And so I'm making, the wizards are going to be these escaped prisoners basically. And like Avarice and Belan and all them. They're in 10 towns, but they're keeping a low profile, and then one of them gets executed, which is cool. I like that idea. But they're definitely prisoners that should have been sent to, the prison place. So all that information is slowly going to come out in his memory. So that's what that is. Trotter, it's supposed to be Trotter, not Totter. Trotter, obviously, is the gnome who's got the sci-fi background. He's the one that's from A Descendant, right? From the was it Geomorphs? The gnome mind flayers? Oh my gosh. Here I am looking at the book right while I'm doing a video. What the heck they called? Geomorphs? Totally unprofessional of me. Okay. The gnome Ceramorphs. Okay, there we go. Ceramorphs. So he's the son of two gnomes that were killed by mind flayers. The mind flayers put leeches into the gnomes, and born out these Ceramorphs. So his parents were killed and devoured by these leeches, but it's not the leeches' fault, right? They were just born that way and took over his parents' bodies, and so, but they're kind of they're sort of neutrally, right? These Ceramorphs are not themselves evil. The mind flayers are really evil and vicious and kill, have to do that. But these Ceramorphs are not necessarily evil, and they have elements of his mother and father in them, So I'm going to do that kind of twisted background. But obviously he's the one that's going to get, has the black box and wants to go and finds the mind flayer fossil in the psi crystal. And then the message comes into his mind that, they have to, he has to go find them. So that's where that's going to come in. The two Ceramorphs here are offspring of his dead parents, something like that thing. So that's what that is. The thing I'm going to do with the Goliath is his background is that his tribe has been killed, and of course the thing is the Goliaths, how they hate each other. Well, his tribe was wiped out, and so other Goliaths killed him, is what everyone says. But if they ever get to the barbarians' cave, they're going to find that the barbarians have his people's dead bodies, like frozen or they've collected the blue flame tattoo skin patches. So he now knows that the barbarians did it, but they also have patches of all the tattoos from all the other tribes, and they through the Dwargar can be enlarged. So the barbarians through the Dwargar are pretending to be Goliaths, killing all the other Goliaths. That's what's been keeping the Goliaths separated. See, so that's how I'm going to bring in his background and his realization that the tribes are not killing each other, even though they hate each other. it's the barbarians with the Dwargar. I think I'm gonna have a frost druid in there. I definitely gotta have a frost. Ooh, let me write that. I gotta have a frost druid with this one because there's got to be a mind. Frost druid is doing all this, so I'll put more notes in that later. But that's where I'm gonna have. That's how I'm gonna bring. Oh, there, I already have it in there. Frost druid leader, yeah, right here. Okay, cool. All right, so let me just move that up there just to reemphasize. So that's what I'm doing for that. Not the main guy, but the brother cleric guy. He doesn't really have a background. He's just a monk sitting in his little. He's gonna have to help all these people figure out their backgrounds. So that's really it for that. I just want to do a little bit back. Oh, here, one more thing. No, another extra little thing. This is totally erratic video. Again, I want to emphasize this video. I mean, I'm going to do this on another video, but this is basically like low magic, how you do low magic, and I'll do another video on that. Anyway, okay, so that's it for this. I'll do another video called low magic items or whatever, about doing these kind of things. Okay, so thanks for watching and listening. I hope that this was helpful to you. And just about the daily ledger, I think that was, where is it? Daily ledger thing. I think that's a lot of fun. If you want to do that, that's a really handy. It's kind of neat. It's different. It's different, and it's fun for me to watch that wood go down and their daily struggles with the cold is kind of fun. And it's a role play thing. It's not really necessarily charts and rolling, So it's just so my advice on how I'm doing and how if you need some fun way of doing the elements. Okay, that's it.